week's lesson is about trusting your why. Healing on this weight loss journey can feel heavy, confusing, and frustrating. I know you've been trying so hard, and you've told me sometimes that it feels still like something is missing. Real, lasting healing is not about rules, diets, or hitting goals. Those things get your attention, but they aren't usually the thing that's going to bring true, lasting change. Beneath every attempt at change is a quieter, deeper question that says, why on earth am I doing this? We're not looking for the answer that sounds good, not the one that others expect, and not the one that looks impressive in your journal. The answer that really matters is the one that comes from deep within your heart, the one that speaks to freedom, to energy, to peace, and to joy. Your why is more than just motivation. It's a compass. It's the reason that you keep moving forward when your willpower falters, when your emotions come in heavy, or when your progress is feeling slow. Without your why, your challenges feel heavier than they need to. But when you have a why that represents freedom, peace, energy, and joy, then every choice that you make, no matter how small, begins to align naturally with what matters most in your life. You've been on this path for a long time. You know the routines, the challenges, the struggles. But it's still important every once in a while to check in with your why, that deeper reason that guides you. And your why is not meant to push or to force you, but to simply point you towards what matters most. And when you follow it, then your steps feel easier. They feel more natural and more aligned with your purpose. And here's a story about my why, quietly working behind the scenes. Over the last few weeks, I've had some emotionally heavy and stressful events unfold. Exactly the kind of thing that in the past used to trigger my old coping patterns. And a couple of days ago, a friend mentioned to me that she had almost reached out with a reminder to not eat my feelings. And that's when a powerful realization landed. It had never crossed my mind. That urge to numb with food, the bag of chips, the candy, the ice cream, the chocolate bar, and the trail mix to add some protein, all in one sitting, it wasn't there. And it's not because of willpower. It's not because of rules. It was because something deep inside has shifted. That moment, that day, was quiet but profound. It's evidence that the work that I've been doing over the last few years has taken root. My why has become internalized, and healing has moved from something that required constant effort into something that I now embody. This is what real change looks like. It's not dramatic resistance. It's not white knuckling through all of the emotions. It's just a natural response that says, I don't need that anymore. When your why is aligned with freedom and peace, then your old habits slowly start to lose their grip, even during the hard moments. We got to learn to trust the journey. And that doesn't mean pretending that things aren't hard or telling yourself to just have faith when you're overwhelmed. It means recognizing that healing is rarely linear. Setbacks, plateaus, emotionally heavy seasons don't mean that you're doing it wrong. When you're deeply connected to your why, you can move through challenges without panicking or trying to fix everything immediately. And that's really important. Allowing yourself to just feel the feelings instead of trying to fix it right away. You don't have to force clarity or rush yourself back into feeling better. You are allowed to move slowly, to pause, and to respond with care instead of control. Trusting the journey is trusting that the skills that you've been building, awareness, self-compassion, emotional regulation, curiosity, these are all there even when you're not actively thinking about them. Just like that moment when stress showed up and food wasn't the answer anymore, this work shows itself quietly and often without huge ta-da kind of fanfare. Faith in this context is not about having perfect trust or believing that everything is going to magically work out. It's about letting go of the idea that your healing depends entirely on your effort, your discipline, or your constant vigilance, constant doing everything perfectly. Faith without pressure actually sounds like, I don't need to control every outcome in order to be okay. I can take care of myself without being harsh. And I can keep moving forward even when I feel tired, uncertain, or emotional. This kind of faith creates room for you to breathe. It allows you to keep going without turning your journey into another thing that you have to perform or to prove. Instead of asking yourself, am I doing this right? The question instead becomes, what would support me right now? For me, on that evening where I realized I hadn't reached out for food, I was doing the things that support me. I sat down, I relaxed, I had a cup of tea, I put my foot massager on, and I just enjoyed a quiet night by the fireplace with no expectations to do anything because I knew what my body really needed was rest. When your why is rooted in feeling better and not doing better or being better, then it becomes much easier to stay connected to yourself in those hard moments. You don't quit. You don't spiral. You adjust, you respond, and you continue one grounded step at a time. So I want you to hear that clearly. Your why needs to be rooted in feeling better, not being better. Your emotions are actually your secret guide. Healing isn't just about thinking or following rules. It's about how you feel. Your emotions actually show you what really matters. Feeling joy, relief, or confidence is not selfish. It points the way forward. Many of us, as kids or even as adults, we're taught to ignore our feelings, to numb them, or to just push through with discipline. But true change happens when you actually pay attention to your heart as well as your mind. When your choices are guided by how you want to feel, more alive, free, or confident, then they become easier to make and to stick with. One of the reasons that motivation fades is because your why is just a thought in your head. It's easy to forget or lose sight of it when life gets busy. Visualization is a simple way to make your why real. It gives you a clear picture of what you're working toward and why it matters. And without it, it's easy to drift or to lose focus. But with it, every choice and every step feels meaningful. So I want you to create a small reminder of your why. It could be written in your journal. It could be a picture, a note on your mirror, anything that helps you feel your goal. And we talked about this way back at the beginning when we first started coaching together about creating an anchor. That's what I want you to do. It's something that you look at when you're unsure, you're tired, or distracted. And this isn't just daydreaming. It's a way of keeping your heart and your mind focused on what matters and a gentle act of trust in yourself and in your journey. As I'm speaking now, I'm realizing that one of my anchors is a digital frame that I have at home, and it sits on top of my fireplace right beside the couch. And on that digital frame is pictures upon pictures of my grandkids and my family. And I see that every night when I sit down on the couch. I see it every morning when I get up and walk into the living room. Creating a reminder of your why is the first step. Seeing it gives you direction, but following it, that takes more commitment. But it's step by step every day. Small steps. It's the quiet choice to follow that reason every day, even when it's hard or messy. It requires commitment, and that's often misunderstood. It doesn't mean that you're never going to slip up, and it doesn't mean you're never going to doubt yourself. Real commitment is different. It's a simple, steady choice to follow your why, even when the journey is messy, even when the journey is not perfect. It's showing up for yourself, not perfectly, but consistently. Think of it like a rope bridge over a body of water. Let's say it's a stream. You don't want to rush or leap on that bridge, but you take just one step at a time, focusing on where you're headed. Because if you If you jump or leap on the bridge, the rope bridge, it's going to sway all over and you might fall off. So you take it one step at a time, focusing on where you're headed. Each choice that follows your why is another step across that bridge, bringing you closer to the freedom and healing that you want. And sometimes on a rope bridge, you might slip a little and falter, but you grab onto the railings and you pull yourself back up. Commitment isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, persistent, purposeful. And once you've taken those steady steps for yourself, then your why can grow stronger, especially when it's shared. You don't have to keep it inside. In fact, talking about your intentions with someone that you trust, like your coach, can make those things feel more real, more alive, and easier to stick with. Sharing isn't about judgment or pressure, but rather about connection, encouragement, and support. There's power in letting your why be seen. Not by everyone, because you got to be careful who you share things with. You don't want to share things with people who are going to use that to hurt you. And you don't want to share it to impress everyone or anyone. But sharing with someone that you trust and who can hold it with care can be very powerful. Sharing your why helps to make it real. It moves it from a thought in your head to something alive in your life. And when you tell someone your reason for healing, then it can give you support and encouragement, motivation. And it gives you accountability. And that's not about judgment. Accountability is about connection. And I want you to understand that. I am here to help you with accountability. I'm not here to judge you on the choices you make, but I'm here to help you connect with where you want to be, where you're going, the choices you're making. And the healing grows stronger when it's shared and acknowledged. Keeping your why to yourself can make the old habits easier to fall back into. But sharing it brings guidance, strength, and light to your journey. So don't be afraid to share with me. I'm here to listen to your wins and your struggles. I'm here to help you through it all, to walk with you, not pushing you, but to walk beside you. Healing isn't about doing more. It's about using what you've already learned. Let your why guide you when your feelings get strong, when your choices feel hard, and when your old habits pop up. You don't have to fight with it. Just keep coming back to your why. Let it help you stay steady, and make good choices. Think of it like a river with stones in it. If the stones are scattered, then the water splashes everywhere. But when the stones are placed carefully, you'll notice that the water flows smoothly over those stones. Every small choice, everything that you learn is like placing a stone. And when you put them together strategically, when you put them together on purpose, then your healing moves forward more easily. Letting yourself be cared for doesn't mean giving up or losing control. It doesn't mean that you're failing. You don't have to do this all by yourself. Letting yourself be cared for is choosing support, choosing trust, choosing to stop trying to handle everything alone. And it means following your why, your feelings, your faith, and your vision one small step at a time. You're not giving up responsibility. Instead, you're choosing a steadier, gentler path. And each small step is a way of saying, I am committed to my healing. I am guided, I am supported, and I'm moving toward peace, joy, and freedom. Healing is not about being perfect. It's not about following strict rules. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about returning to your heart, honoring your why, and letting steady, loving care help you to take the next step. Step by step, without pressure, without drama, you begin to heal from the inside out.